The phrase "mega brands beg Jungkook to sign" might sound exaggerated, but when we examine the mounting evidence, the numbers, and the behavior of these corporations, it becomes clear that it is not exaggeration at all. The price attached to Jungkook's name has reached a level the industry itself has rarely seen, making it almost surreal even for those accustomed to the extravagance of global celebrity culture. The why mega brands are in a state of urgency over Jungkook is one that intertwines global marketing strategy, the unpredictable rise of Korean entertainment, and the calculated moves of a young man who has quietly, but effectively, turned himself into a once-in-a-generation global star. In this part of the article, we will break down how his power has become irresistible, why brands see him as the key to their future growth, and why the asking price for Jungkook has reached insane proportions. This isn't just about fandom screaming in stadiums. It's about real market data, global shifts in consumer behavior, and the undeniable magnetism of an artist who refuses to be defined by one industry. His reputation expanded not only because of BTS's worldwide success, but because of his personal skill set that positioned him differently from other idols. Jungkook is a singer who can compete with Western vocalists, a dancer with stage command, and an athlete-like figure with a body brand's dream to dress. More importantly, he grew alongside the expansion of BTS in international markets. Unlike many other idols whose fame remains concentrated in Asia, Jungkook's appeal penetrated the American, European, and Latin markets with surprising depth. When Forbes, The Guardian, or Billboard write about him, it is no longer in the language of niche K-pop, but in the language of global pop dominance. This positioning means he is not viewed by brands as a regional figure. They view him as a universal marketing weapon. The choice of the word "begging" may seem dramatic, but insiders in the fashion and entertainment industries describe the current climate as nothing short of desperate. The competition for Jungkook is unlike anything witnessed in recent years, even compared to top American celebrities. Several factors explain this unusual corporate scramble. He converts attention into sales. Many celebrities can generate attention, but very few can translate attention into actual revenue. Jungkook's fans are known for their purchasing power, but more importantly, his broader appeal has proven to influence non-fans. When Jungkook wears a product, the public response is immediate and measurable. This conversion rate is the holy grail for marketers. He bridges cultures seamlessly. Most global icons have regional biases. Some resonate primarily in the West, while others dominate Asia. Jungkook is one of the few who transcends these divides naturally. A Coca-Cola commercial featuring him in Korea trends in the US. A luxury campaign shot in Paris gains equal traction in Jakarta. To brands, this ability is invaluable because it compresses the cost of global marketing into one individual, the scarcity factor. Jungkook is notoriously selective with his partnerships. Unlike celebrities who sign multiple endorsement deals simultaneously, Jungkook's name is attached sparingly, which magnifies the value of each deal. When he aligns with a brand, consumers perceive it as authentic rather than transactional. This scarcity intensifies demand, leading companies to bid higher than ever before. Beyond data and strategy, there is also the emotional element. Jungkook is perceived as genuine, hardworking, and humble despite his success. This narrative resonates with consumers, creating not just fans but loyalists who adopt his choices as their own. In an era when authenticity sells more than glossy advertising, Jungkook embodies what corporations dream of projecting. Reports emerging from within the fashion and advertising industries indicate that the bidding wars for Jungkook's contracts are reaching unprecedented numbers. While typical endorsement contracts for global stars may hover around $10 to $30 million annually, Jungkook's rumored offers are said to be multiple times higher. Some insiders suggest figures ranging between $80 to $120 million for exclusive multi-year deals, especially from luxury fashion houses that see him as the next long-term face of their brand identity. This price tag might sound insane to the average consumer, but from the corporate perspective, it is strategic. If one campaign with Jungkook can generate hundreds of millions in sales uplift, then an exclusive contract worth $100 million is not an expense. It is an investment. In fact, companies fear that not securing him could mean ceding ground to competitors who do. Imagine a scenario where Jungkook exclusively represents a rival brand. For many corporations, the potential loss is more terrifying than the cost itself. Unlike past decades when television commercials and magazine spreads defined celebrity endorsements, the battlefield today is social media. Jungkook dominates this arena in ways that data analysts describe as unprecedented. His Instagram posts consistently generate millions of likes within hours. Trending hashtags about him dominate Twitter/X globally, and his TikTok presence, even without personal activity, creates waves of viral trends. What sets him apart is not just volume but intensity. The engagement surrounding Jungkook is more loyal, more aggressive, and more immediate than most other celebrities. When Jungkook wears a plain white t-shirt, fans identify the brand within minutes, leading to sellouts. This phenomenon has forced corporations to recognize him not simply as an influencer, but as a marketing ecosystem in himself. Behind the polished press releases and glamorous advertisements lies an uncomfortable truth. Mega brands are afraid. They are afraid of missing the opportunity to attach themselves to Jungkook at the right time. They are afraid of losing younger audiences who see Jungkook as a symbol of relevance. They are afraid that if a competitor secures him, their own campaigns will look outdated by comparison. This corporate fear is what drives the desperation often described as begging. It is not begging in the literal sense, but in the competitive sense, where CEOs and marketing teams push their limits, adjust budgets, and present increasingly outrageous offers just to outbid rivals. The atmosphere feels more like an auction house than a traditional negotiation. What makes this entire dynamic more fascinating is Jungkook himself. He rarely boasts about his influence. He does not flaunt his power or his ability to move markets. Instead, he maintains the quiet, hardworking image that fans have loved for years. This contrast between corporate giants fighting behind the scenes and Jungkook's understated demeanor adds to the surreal quality of the situation. In a way, the more silent Jungkook remains, the more the frenzy grows. He does not need to aggressively promote himself. The brands do it for him. His silence creates an aura of exclusivity. Every appearance, every campaign, every product placement feels like an event, which only heightens demand. The luxury sector was the first to feel the full force of Jungkook's influence, and Calvin Klein's campaign remains the textbook case. Historically, luxury fashion houses have leaned heavily on Hollywood A-listers or established supermodels. Yet when Calvin Klein unveiled Jungkook as their global face, the numbers defied industry logic. Not only did the brand trend globally across social platforms, but product sellouts occurred at speeds even Calvin Klein executives had not predicted. This result has had a ripple effect. Rivals like Saint Laurent, Gucci, Dior, and Prada are said to be circling around him, offering contracts that could dwarf anything seen before. Why? Because Jungkook has proven that he can refresh a brand. Luxury fashion struggles with the perception of being outdated or inaccessible to younger buyers. Jungkook neutralizes this problem. He projects luxury as cool, attainable, and modern without diluting its exclusivity. Executives know that if Jungkook commits exclusively to one fashion house, that house could see years of brand dominance. That possibility is enough to create boardroom panic. In internal discussions, industry insiders describe this as the Jungkook effect, the idea that one person can single-handedly reset the hierarchy of global fashion. Beverage companies are another group aggressively pursuing Jungkook, and the stakes here are surprisingly high. Carbonated drinks, energy drinks, and even bottled water brands face declining loyalty among Gen Z consumers. Traditional advertising no longer sticks, and sponsorship of sports teams or events does not always guarantee cultural impact. Enter Jungkook. When Coca-Cola Korea ran a campaign with him, the ad went viral across multiple countries, not just in Asia. It sparked memes, reaction videos, and endless reposts on social media. Pepsi, Red Bull, and even premium bottled water brands reportedly took notice. Why? Because beverage consumption is linked heavily to lifestyle identity. If Jungkook is pictured casually holding a drink, that image travels across continents in hours, creating both desirability and normalization. What brands crave most is not just exposure, but integration. They don't want Jungkook to appear in a standard commercial. They want him to become the face of a lifestyle. A single beverage associated with Jungkook could dominate college campuses, nightclubs, gyms, and digital culture simultaneously. That explains why insiders suggest beverage companies are offering enormous sums, competing against fashion houses in this corporate scramble. Perhaps the most underestimated area of competition for Jungkook lies within technology. Smartphones, wearables, gaming platforms, and even AI-driven companies are beginning to explore celebrity ambassadors with deeper cultural penetration. The challenge for these companies is that technology adoption among younger consumers is no longer purely about functionality. It is about cultural positioning. Imagine a scenario where Jungkook becomes the face of a smartphone launch. The impact would not only be about aesthetics, but about attaching the product to a sense of cool, aspirational belonging. If Jungkook uses a specific smartwatch, headphones, or VR device, fans will not only want it, they will evangelize it. This is why industry whispers suggest tech companies, including giants from the US and Korea, are discreetly entering negotiations. While fashion and beverages dominate headlines, the technology sector sees Jungkook as their secret weapon. For them, the insane price tag makes sense because it isn't just about one-time sales. It's about embedding their technology into the cultural bloodstream through Jungkook's influence. Another sector pushing aggressively is lifestyle and fitness. Jungkook is known not only for his voice and performance skills, but for his athletic physique and disciplined training routines. On social media, workout clips of him often go viral, inspiring countless fans to start their own fitness journeys. This creates a direct pipeline of influence that brands in sportswear, supplements, and fitness equipment cannot ignore. Nike, Adidas, Puma, and other sports giants are reportedly among those seeking him. For them, Jungkook represents the perfect fusion: artistry, athleticism, and aspirational health. The value proposition is simple. If Jungkook is wearing a pair of running shoes or lifting weights with branded equipment, millions of fans worldwide will perceive that as the gold standard. Fitness has also become more lifestyle-driven than ever before. It is not just about gyms. It is about self-expression, fashion, and wellness. Jungkook embodies all of these simultaneously, making him an unmatched candidate. For lifestyle brands, his price tag may be insane, but the potential returns are even more staggering. One might ask, why Jungkook, when there are countless global stars available? The answer lies in a combination of factors that create a rare equation. Cross-generational appeal. Jungkook attracts both Gen Z and millennials, while also being admired by older demographics for his work ethic and artistry. This is a rare trifecta that most celebrities fail to achieve. Cross-industry relevance. He is not locked into one domain. Unlike athletes who mostly represent sports or actors who stick to film tie-ins, Jungkook can move fluidly from fashion to food to tech without diluting his brand. Cultural credibility. Many Western celebrities face backlash when over-commercialized. Jungkook, however, retains authenticity. His careful selection of projects ensures that fans perceive his collaborations as genuine rather than purely financial. The global South factor. While many brands obsess over Western markets, Jungkook brings equal weight in Southeast Asia, Latin America, and the Middle East, regions where consumer markets are expanding rapidly. This global South reach makes him far more valuable than stars limited to Euro-American markets. When people hear that Jungkook is being offered contracts valued at $80 to $120 million, they often wonder how such numbers are justified. The answer is simple: return on investment. If a fashion house sees a $300 million uplift in revenue following a campaign, paying Jungkook $100 million for exclusivity is not only logical, it is cost-efficient. Moreover, corporations fear the domino effect of losing him. If Jungkook signs with Nike, what happens to Adidas? If Jungkook represents Pepsi, what happens to Coca-Cola? These ripple effects create panic, forcing companies to escalate bids beyond typical levels. In boardrooms, executives are not just crunching numbers. They are imagining worst-case scenarios of their competitors winning Jungkook. This fear alone inflates his market price dramatically. Though much of this discussion revolves around cold business logic, it would be a mistake to ignore the emotional element. Consumers do not fall in love with data. They fall in love with stories, personalities, and authenticity. Jungkook embodies all three. His journey from a teenage trainee in Korea to a global superstar resonates as a story of persistence, talent, and humility. Brands understand that attaching themselves to Jungkook means attaching themselves to that narrative. They are not just buying advertising space. They are buying into a story millions believe in. This emotional connection creates loyalty far beyond standard marketing campaigns, making Jungkook's value feel not just insane, but immeasurable. I end this section. We have seen how the fight for Jungkook is not confined to one industry, but spans across luxury fashion, beverages, technology, and lifestyle. Each industry views him as a golden ticket for survival, relevance, and dominance. This explains why the bidding war escalates so dramatically and why companies are willing to beg in ways the public rarely witnesses. The price may sound insane, but from the perspective of corporations, Jungkook is not just a celebrity. He is an ecosystem, a living brand capable of transforming entire industries. And that makes every dollar spent on him seem like a necessary investment rather than extravagance.